Hello everyone, my name is Anu Sharma and I'm back with a new topic, libraries in Python. So today we are going to start our NumPy library. So NumPy library is mostly used to work on mathematical operators and you can do mathematical operations on it. So it has multi-dimensional arrays. We have learned about the list in the previous classes. So the list also works on arrays, but it's too slow. So we use the NumPy library because it's 50 times faster than a list. So let's get started. First, we will write the heading as NumPy and then OK and run. Now I will import NumPy as np and I will run this code. Now wherever I have to use the word NumPy, I can use np and then the Python will know that I'm talking about NumPy. Now first we will learn how to create a creating create an array. Okay, so we will create our first array and run. Now over here we will just to create an array, I will make a variable and then write np that we have imported, np dot array, that's the format, and then we will give the parenthesis and then the square brackets with values. Okay, and then we will, okay, just a minute, this is print a. Okay, so over here we have got our array. Now your question will come that this is looking like a list, so is it can be also a list. So uh, is this a array or a list? So we will just see the check the type. So we'll write type and a. So over here we have got a type numpy dot nd array. So numpy dot nd array, nd array means the object created by the array. So this is an array that we have used and we have created through the array this object that we have printed over here. Now can we insert and tuple over here? So let's check. I'll just copy this whole statement again and then I'll just give it as tuple. Hmm, and then like, like this. Now there is a tuple over here and over here still we are getting the type as numpy nd array. Now let's learn about some more things like dimensions of array. So dimensions are divided into three parts: one dimensional array, two dimensional array, and three dimensional array that is called 1D, 2D, and 3D in short. So the one dimensional array has one axis, two dimensional has two axes, and three has three axes. So now let's create them. How to create those arrays? Okay. So now there is one more uh, array with zero dimension. So to create it, we will write np dot array and then we will over here will give just a single value, and then we will print a. And if we want to know how much dimension it is of the array, we have to just write the variable then dot nd dim. So over here n means the numpy and dim means dimensions. So if we execute over here, we have got a dimension as 0. Okay, now let's create one dimensional array. Let's give this as a heading. Okay, and run. Now over here, to create one dimensional array, we'll make a variable, or maybe b a variable, and then n dot array, and then we will just use this format, parenthesis then square brackets, and then we will print b, and we will print b b okay, b dot endim. So over here we have got a one dimensional array. If we store one more value in it, like, just a minute, copy, paste over here, and over here if we just enter 2 3 4 5 4 5. Okay, so this just a minute, this don't work with the, okay, just a second, this was something wrong, I thought something else. Okay, so now let's learn how to create two dimensional array. Just give this array. Okay, just and run. Now over here, to create two dimensional array, we will make a variable np dot array, and then we'll give this parenthesis, then brackets, then the value inside those brackets, and we always give the value in the square brackets. So we can give many values, like we can give one more also, like this. But the important thing to create two dimensional arrays is to give the square brackets outside the value. So this is the value that we have inside those brackets, and these are the brackets. Now we will print c, and then we will print c dot endim. So we have got this as two dimensional array. Now to create three dimensional array, so how can we do that? We'll just have to just give the heading first. I'll just give it head as a heading format. Now to create it, we will make a variable, give the format, and then we will give the parenthesis. Now we will give two times the the square brackets, and then again one to give insert the values. Maybe we can insert one more. Okay. Over here we will print d. Okay, over here it's some sort of error. I'll just make this again. Okay, so over here, yeah, so over here I'll make a variable, and then np dot array, and then the parenthesis, and then one time, two time, and then the value, a comma, a value, and these two over here, and then print d. Okay, and now to know the type, we'll write d dot endim. Over here we have got our dimensional 3. Sometimes there is a sort of error, so we have to do the program, the code again. Okay, so now the important thing over here is to give two square brackets uh, outside the value. Okay. Now if we want to create more than three-dimensional arrays, because there are only three arrays, one dimensional, two dimensional and three dimensional. If we want to create more dimensional array, how to create them? Let's see. Creating more than three-dimensional array. Now let's give the heading. Now maybe we want to create four-dimensional array. We will just take two examples like four-dimensional array and five-dimensional array. So to create it, we will make a variable and then write np dot array, then give this, and then we will make first of all one dimensional array and then comma, we will write ndmin. Ndmin is equals to 4. Then we will print e, okay, it's r, e, and then we will print e dot endim, and if we execute this, we have got our dimensional 4 and we have got three brackets outside. Okay, over here there were two, over here there were one, so over here they should be 3. Now suppose I want to make 5-dimensional 5D array. Okay, so I'll just give it like this and run. Okay. Now I'll just copy the same code and then I'll just write, instead of 4 I'll write 5. So over here we have 4 brackets outside and it's 5-dimensional. Okay, now let's understand how to do indexing of array. Okay, so now let's give the heading indexing of array. Now let's create an array first with a variable a, np dot array, and then create let's I just forget to give a heading. It was 1D array. So how to do indexing in for one dimensional array? Let's understand that first. We will make a variable or just copy this array maybe and paste it over here. We'll just np. Okay, so this is our one dimensional array and we will print a, and then the usual way that we used to do indexing. Now how to do it in this, we will, if we want to know at puts at 0 position, we will write 0 and we have got 1. Now to do at second dimensional array, we'll just give the heading first and then we'll just make or write like this and then D. So this is our array, two-dimensional array. Now we will print. So how to do this is D. So to do the indexing, we will write D and then we will write the square brackets and then we will write 0 comma and we want the indexing of maybe at the position at 1. If we just run this, we have got 2. Now let's change the value of these numbers. Maybe it's 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we have got over here 2. Now what's over here 0, and how we have got the indexing number for this? So now this value, the whole list, the value is represented as 0, and this whole value is represented till here as 1. So I wanted from the 0 section, and now the normal index number that we want from 1. And now if I could just copy this, and I want from 1 the 3. So I've got over here 8. Okay, so the 1 is this one. This is represented as 1, and this is represented as 0. Now to do 3D, now with 3D array, the indexing of array, the 3D array. Now I'll just copy this array, copy, and over here I'll paste it and just give the change the variable and write print. And same for this, we will write first of all e. This is represented as 1, and this is as 0. So now if we write 0 comma 2, okay, over here just a minute, let's create one more. So 9 comma 10 comma 11 comma 12, like this. Okay, over here got e, and over I will write 0. Yes. Now 0 over here we have given for this full bracket outside the three-dimensional array. We used to give two brackets. We have given this 0 for that, and then we wanted it from now the same format as 2D array, that we wanted it from the 0, this value 0, and then we want the index number. We want to know what's at the index number 2. So we have got over here 3. And if I just copy and then I will just change this to, I want it from the 2 because over here it's 2, and then comma, I want index number at 3. Over here I've got 12. Okay, so now how to add the array? Adding array. Okay, now we will just copy this first one, copy, and I'll just 1D, I'll just give the heading as 1D. For the one dimensional array we will just will write print the variable name a, and then the index number 0 plus a at index number 1. There are 4 total, so we have to do it 4 times. So a index number at 2, and the last one we will get a at index number 3. And if we execute this, we have got the value 10. So if we do it manually, this is 7, then 8, 9, and this is 10. Now to do with two-dimensional array. Now we will give the heading two-dimensional array. Now we will just copy this and paste it here. to do that, we will first of all write print, and then you have to remember the indexing process with the 2D, 3D, and 4D to do addition. Okay, and then now if over here I have print, then it's variable d. So d and the index number, first of all 0 I have to do. First I have to do with 0. Okay, so 0, 0. I'll just copy this, copy plus paste, and 1 plus paste 2 and plus paste 3. If I execute, I've got for the first one. Now I want to plus with the second one also. So I will do plus, and I will just write 1 comma 0. I'll just copy this code line. No, like this. I will copy, then plus paste 1, then plus paste 2. Okay, and the last one plus paste 3. Now if I execute, I have my value as 36. Now to do addition with three-dimensional array. Okay, over here we will give the heading. Okay, and run. Now we'll just copy this, copy and paste, and over here we will write 0 comma 0 comma 0 because we have to start from 0. And I'll just copy this. Maybe let's give this only 3 or 2 values. Okay, or it will be really big. Plus and paste कर देते हैं हम. Okay, so it's okay, it's 0 still. Now I have to just change it as 1 and plus paste at 2. Now plus paste, and now I have to change the whole 1 comma 0 and comma plus, sorry, not comma, it's plus e, and then 0 comma 1 comma 2. And then if I execute, okay, it's just showing me certain sort of error. Okay, there's no 2. 1 comma, now it's 2. 2 comma 0 plus e with 0 comma 2 comma 1. Okay, just a minute. It's so showing me certain sort of error. Value error it is, that sequence. Okay, okay, if I just give, it's 1 comma 2 comma 3, then 4 comma 5, then 6 comma 7. Okay, just a second. It's showing me some sort of error. So let me just fix it. Yes. Okay, so these all should be equal. And now we have got our result as 20. So today we have just got an introduction about the NumPy library, that it's used for mathematical operations. And we have learned how to create an array, and we have created our first array. And now we have learned about the dimensions of error 1D, 2D, and 3D. Now creating more than 3D error like 4D, 5D, and etc. And now we have learned about indexing of error array of 1D, 2D, and 3D, because it has different types. Difference how to do indexing, because we use 0 and 1 over here, and 0, 0, 1, and like this. Now we have learned about adding the arrays, and we should know that how to do indexing of 1D, 2D, and 3D arrays to do addition. Okay, thank you. Let me get new topics for you.